This is my trade recap of 4/29/2025. I made a great mistake today, a lessonable mistake today. I'm very happy of today. There was two problems that we had. First is that we forgot about the higher time frame. Second, not the buys and drawn liquidity, was that the execution, right? Second, we had a little formal problem on the trade that we're not supposed to be in, right? But let's get straight into it. In the higher time frame, we had a weekly CRT to the downside, another weekly to the downside, SMT CRT to the downside. As well, we had a weekly ERL to IRL, daily time frame CRT to the downside, daily PM ERL to IRL, daily CRT to the downside, as well as another SMT CRT to the downside, classic vision profile 2 to the downside, because this Monday high SMT. We as well had a premium, so want to sell. Lower time frame, we're looking for indication, as well as we had bearish auto flow, as well as we had a 4-hour key level, which is this 4-hour auto block. And as far as CRT, there's other 4-hour CRT, and this other 4-hour CRT as our range. Now, if we go to 15-minute time frame, good. And the mistake I made on this, we're going to talk about it right over here. But what I took was the continuation without hourly CRT, which was the mistake, right? Here's the 8 AM CRT, is our CRT. Now we got soup, not legit high, so we got re-soup. Then we're looking for a model 1. Then we got repurged because the higher time frame, higher power, right? So not legit high, gets purged, model 1 confirmation gap, and wrong model 1. Market goes lower. People get surprised. Market goes right back up, swooping at the legit high, giving us the model 1, right? We said we're going to enter that threshold, not the threshold. So we had a problem right over there. And that's what happened. You can see now market's going our way. Obviously, we made a great mistake here. Great mistake, right? I'm not even sad about it. I'm not mad about it. I'm clapped, you know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. But yeah, we got the right model 1 entry here, because I thought market's gonna enter that. I know we tapped the threshold, goes down a little bit. It gives me a little FOMO problem. Enter there, eventually goes down even lower. Gives us some hope. But I forgot that higher time from high power. Summer goes up, right? Super's out. Then eventually decides to go lower. Now, if we enter that trade, we are going to be in profits, right? So the lesson is 2 lessons here. Now, let's go over the trade you're supposed to do, right? And keep in mind, we're not supposed to have any trades today. Why? Because the time ran out of this model 1, and we don't have the right model 1 as well. And we, hit 12 p.m. already before, we want to take the trade between 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. 6 a.m. and 12 p.m. and the 12 p.m. got hit, and there was no trades, but we did the setup still happened afterward, right? Which nothing is guaranteed, right? So the lesson was primarily 4-hour CRT was in play here, right? The 4-hour CRT high got souped. So the 4-hour CRT high got souped. You're going 15-minute time frame. 4-hour CRT high does not have legit high, so this high soups it out. But guess what? That's not a legit high too. So market goes lower. At 10 a.m. soups out a high, make a legit high now. That's now just this right over here is a valid high, not a valid high, not a valid high, valid high. So now market needs to go all the way up, soup out this high one more time, then go lower. That's what I had a quadruple soups. This is why we have the valid high, very low, but rule, you know what I'm saying? So we had the valid high right over here, got souped, then eventually model 1 confirmation happened, and the model 1 was wrong, but still work in our favor. Boom, go lower from here on forward. You can see now if we enter the trade from here, you would be in profits, right? Now that's the lesson. The next lesson is even though our setup here was wrong, we cannot foam in. We cannot foam in, right? If we say, okay, the body is big, so we're gonna enter that threshold, 50% mark. And if the market taps it and we miss it, we're not gonna foam in. We're going to either wait for it to get tapped back, or we're done, or we're not gonna execute at all until the market taps it, or until it goes on, hits our take profit, right? So if we're gonna say we're gonna enter here, we're gonna enter there. We're not gonna enter anywhere but there, right? If I say I'm gonna enter that threshold, I'm gonna enter the threshold. I'm not gonna choose anywhere else but the threshold, which in this case I entered out of the auto block right over here, which I shouldn't have not been. Even though we're wrong, we cannot let that happen again. I will not let that happen again from now on forward. If I say I'm going to enter out of the threshold or rejection block or whatever I say I'm going to enter out of, I'm going to enter out of there. I'm not going to choose anything else but that. If I say I'm going to enter that threshold, I'm going to enter threshold. If it taps it and I forget to enter the trade or I miss it, either I wait for the market to retrace, tap it back and go lower, or I don't enter the trade. There's nothing else, right? So that's the lesson of that. And the next lesson is for a near continuation, if there's a 4-hour CRT, I will switch to 15-minute model ones and 15-minute legit high, legit lows, no longer hourly, right? The only time we use an hourly CRT if there's not a 4-hour CRT and if there's a New York reversal profile 2. In this case, is today a New York reversal profile 2? No. Today a near continuation? Yes. Is there a 4-hour CRT? Yes. And if there's an hourly CRT as well? Yes. But guess what? We just have hourly CRT. If there's a 4-hour CRT in a near continuation, and in this case, there's a 4-hour CRT in a near continuation, which that's why we got lost here, right? We got soup. Now market's going direction. Ooh, right. Tomorrow probably we can probably catch the continuation of the setup. On my side of the setup, not really. I'm down like 4%. All part of the process, right? We learn here. Market is teaching us so much here. I'm tired of I'm tired of getting teached now, right? But guess what? There's another lesson, right? This lesson I never knew about it. Now today I know about it. Now I know, okay, there's two ways to go out of near continuation. One, if there's a 4-hour CRT, we prioritize the 4-hour CRT more than the hour CRT. If there's if there's not a 4-hour CRT, we can just look for hourly CRT, right? In this case, it's 4-hour CRT, so looking for a 4-hour, right? And if the only time we're looking to use a hourly CRT if the negative profile 2, or if it's a near continuation without the 4-hour CRT, that's the only time we're looking to use a hourly CRT, not the 4-hour. In this case, there was a 4-hour CRT, so we're now looking for a 5-minute. We're looking for 15-minute. You can see right over here, not a valid high. Soup, not a valid high. Is resouped. Now there's a valid high there, so it needs to get resouped. Now go lower. Report one day. Whoa, 4 soups. Yes, it's like my rules is backed by proof. I'll show you guys multiple proof here. Simply like that, right? I back tested it. I built evidence. So it's how do you build confidence? By building evidence, right? So I built evidence that this rule is true. And the next thing is that I will not FOMO into the market. If I say I'm going to enter here, I'm going to enter there. If the market taps it and I miss it somehow, I'll either wait for it to get retapped and re-enter at the same price point, or I will not enter the trade. If it goes however far it goes, I will not enter the trade. If I'm saying I'm going to enter there, I'm going to enter there, right? There's going to be no FOMO problem. There's going to be no greed problem. There's going to be nothing just like that. And and the next lesson is, if there's a new situation, and if there's a 4-hour CRT, we're going to purchase the 4-hour CRT more than the hourly CRT. The only time we use the hourly CRT if there's a new situation, if there's not a 4-hour CRT. And other way is if there's a new reversal profile 2. Otherwise, we're looking for a 4-hour CRT here, right? So, yeah, there's a great lesson. Today should have been no trading day because there was not a legit high here, right? And the setup happened right, way long after the kill zone, right? So yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share. And I was thinking about, okay, market is ranging so much here. Let me just change a pair. I'm not gonna do that because first of all, it's ranging. My rules are not there. So my rules are not the problem. I am the problem because I'm breaking them, right? I cannot break them. And as you guys know, we learn, market teaches us, doesn't matter how far we go and draw down, market is here to teach us, right? We're not here to play around with the market. Market will teach us until we get it. Eventually, market is going to reward us, right? We're very submissive creatures to the markets. We're not submissive to life. We're submissive to God. We're not submissive to anything but the charts and God, right? The reason we're submissive to charts because we can learn from it, so we can't be arrogant, right? I did get a little emotional on this. It's cool, right? Going, taking like 6 losses back to back. It's hectic. It hurts, but it's part of the process. Market's gonna teach us. It's all cool, right? Nothing hard feeling. Market does not favor or disfavor anybody. It just is. So this is not a disfavorable. This is not disfavorable to me. It just is. So yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure like, comment, subscribe, share. Join us down below. The lesson is primarily do not FOMO in. If I'm going to enter there, I'm going to enter there. If I miss it, somehow I miss the entry, I will not enter unless the market taps that price point again. And the next lesson is for a new situation, if there's a 4 hour CRT, we're going to press the 4 hour CRT. So we're going to be looking for a 15-minute Model 1 instead of a 5-minute Model 1, right? And if there's the only time we're looking for a hourly CRT is if there's a new situation and if there's not a 4 CRT. If there's not a 4 CRT, looking for an hourly CRT. And the next lesson is if the next thing is the only time we look for an hourly CRT is if there's a near conversion profile 2 or a near continuation, but the near continuation cannot have a 4 CRT there, right? In this case, there's a 4 CRT, so we're present the 15-minute and the 5-minute. So this is why we, got a loss primarily not within the higher time frame. Very lessenable day. I'm not sad at all. I'm not mad at all. I'm just, learning. It's all part of the process. So if we're learning right now, in the future, we're gonna avoid these losses because we learn in the near future. I'm way more happy taking this loss than taking the same loss in the future. If I take the same loss in the future with more capital, let's just say I'm risking around 200,000, I'm losing 200,000 a trade, right? That's a lot of money, right? That's not a lot of money to me, but it is a lot of money to most of us, right? So if that's a lot of money, we don't want it to happen. We don't want to take unnecessary losses. We want to only take, accepted losses. So yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share. Join our Discord. And it's all a lesson. I'm not hard feeling. I'm not sad at all. I'm just like, yeah. Market is teaching me something very valuable. Market has been teaching me for the past 6 trades. Do this right. Do this right. Do that right. Do that right. Right? And guess what? What are we doing? We're learning from the market, right? We're submissive. We're learning from the market. The only thing we're submissive to is the market and the God. Nothing else but those two. Anything else, they can take control over us, right? So we don't know that happen. It's only God in the markets. Why we say markets? So we can, learn from our losses, not, fuck around and find out, right? So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys later. Beautiful. I'm not, at first, at the beginning of the video, you guys might see me look a little bit more, emotional, but it's all part of the process. I'm going to lose. My greatest moment isn't my greatest moment. It's my greatest defeat. Right over here is my greatest defeat. This is my greatest moment. This is when most people quit. Losing 6 trades in a row, a lot can't compliment that, right? They can't fuck, like, damn. People quit on that, right? People quit on that. But you guys know we've been here before. We had 12 losing streaks. We had 13 losing streaks. We had 28 losing streaks. And guess what? Through that, we're still on top. This loss, I'm still on top at a 40 RR. I'm still on top. Holy, right? We're still on top after taking 6 losses in a row. We're still on a 40 RR win, right? RR return. So we're up 40% still, even after this loss, right? So we know that we're going to make our money back even more, but we got to keep on learning. So once we eliminate mistakes, our win rate is going to naturally go up higher. But right now, I'm in this lower, right? Because we're just learning, right? Like, I'm very happy with this loss because lesson, right? It's life. Our greatest moment is not our greatest moment. Is our greatest defeat, just right over here. Market's going in a direction, cool. But this can definitely be a lesson out of this. Very happy with this trade. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.